Hello, everybody. Great to see you all here tonight. Hi. Yes, I gave a 1 hour notice because I came on early and I wanted everybody to, mark it in their calendars, set a timer. If they had to take a little nap prior to, they could. Hi, Ava. We wouldn't want the world missing out on Ava. That would be amazing and so greatly appreciated. Thank you. And, if you feel like you must, there's always the MIB version of it. Joey Bag of Donuts. Hello, sweetie. Get your nap. We'll see you soon. Hello, Nina Laura. Hello, Mortimer Duke. Hello, C-Rex. I love you. Red's General District Court. How are you, buddy? Yeah, I can't put that up. It's funny, though. It's funny. Yeah, it's been chilly here, too. I had the heat on earlier. Not gonna lie. I couldn't take it. I don't like being cold. It's not my favorite. Also don't like being hot. There's that comfy midpoint. I like that point. Hello, Eileen E. Carlan. How you doing, sweetie? So I kind of bounced all over the place today, finding stuff. So we've got a whole variety. And Ava's bones came today. Peanut butter flavored busy bones. She loves these. She loves them. Yeah, see? Tell everybody you're eating your kibble now that I switched you back to Blue Buffalo, because, Miss Prissy wouldn't have anything else. Quite literally, wouldn't eat it. Nothing else. She has to have Blue Buffalo. Yeah, I think I can blame Joey Bag of Donuts for this one. He started this. Yes, a good girl. Hi, Bandit. How you doing, my love? How's the most beautiful kitty in the world? The most beautiful tortoise shell I've ever seen in my life. And sweetest. Yep, that's what I said. You heard me. Yeah. I don't think you get to see them as much with the new camera as you could with the old one, because, I don't know, there's a spatial difference between the laptop camera versus the one that's now mounted on top of my monitor. But, you get all the tail action. Thank you so much. It came with Ava's treats. I got a black one just the same. I wasn't sure how I would feel about, because I love cold shoulders. You all know that. And I love lace. And so I saw this and I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about the daisies. But I had to have it. And so I got it in this pretty light blue. And then I got one in black. So I like it. It's a pretty good shirt. But thank you so much. Yep, I got it on Amazon. They were having a flash sale, and I got a bunch of shirts. I needed shirts. I didn't really have any that fit well, and I always made the excuse, I only need to look good from here up. So, that was my logic behind it. But I needed clothing that I could wear away from this desk. I can't just, sit here all the time. So I splurged and bought clothes that fit me. Oh, it's okay. They kind of blend, you know? I mean, after a while, you don't even notice it. It just becomes part of the shirt. Like it's part of the stitching and threading. You get used to every cat hair everywhere. I've never really noticed a problem with that. But if you do get cat hair on your clothing, easy way to get rid of it is just very quickly run your hand under water. Like you don't want it super soaked. You just want a light wetness on your hand. Seriously, that's it. Just light wetness on your hand. Don't let it drip or nothing like that. Just tiny little bit, and then just go like this. I kid you not. All of the fur will just curl up to the bottom. All wherever you're patting down like that, rubbing on your clothes with your wet hands. It's so much better than any squeegee or glue or sticky roller or any of that. Just a tiny little bit of water. That's all it takes. Learned that from a farm girl. One of my farm friends named Karen, she taught me that. Couldn't believe how well it worked. Now everybody who has cats is really quickly just grabbing their water bottle and tamping a little on their hand. But yeah, so let's have some fun tonight, guys. I'm looking forward to it. We've got a much smaller crowd now. I don't think anybody was expecting me on this early. That's why I put up the hour notice, Mortimer Duke. And not everybody's seen it still. But that's okay. They'll come. Yep. Once you stream, they will come. Haha. It's taking just a moment for my computer to catch up to me. Yeah. I think I need to reboot. Not right now, though. Where did I put it? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's where I put it. Ha. I found it.
This is in the District Court of Butler County, Kansas, case entitled State of Kansas versus Taylor Parite. It's case number 2024 CR 473. Taylor Parite appears on his own Zoom, apparently from Monroe, Louisiana. James Watts appears as defense counsel. Brett Sweeney on behalf of the state of Kansas.
All of the previous cases for Mr. Parite will be in the description because this is an FTC, the catch me if you can guy.
This matter comes before the court at this time for sentencing. Court's docket notes indicate that Mr. Parite appeared before this court by Zoom back on March the 12th. At that time, the court determined that the defendant was under a federal tribal court detainer and had rehabilitation placement in Louisiana. The court rescheduled sentencing to today's date. Court ordered the defendant to comply with any assessment that was necessary and fully comply with the Louisiana program. We're here for sentencing today. The court does have a completed pre-sentence report compiled by Christine Donovan, pre-sentence investigator, who is present on this meeting. Ms. Donovan, before this escapes me, I want to go ahead and ask this question just regarding a detail on the face sheet. You list a begin date of jail time for 10/13, end date 10/15, but compute 1 day jail time credit. How did you reach that conclusion?
That was reported to me by the Butler County Jail, Your Honor.
All right. Counsel, I don't know exactly what the hours computation was. I just know how DOC looks at these journal entries, and if they see a start date on the 13th and an end date on the 15th, they're going to be inquiring whether that's 1 day or 2 days credit. This court is going to resolve any doubt in favor of the defendant in this case. We will proceed today as if this is a 2 day jail time credit case. I have no doubt regarding the accuracy of the information that Ms. Donovan has expressed, but regardless of the number of hours that were involved, 2 days will be granted based on prior time credit, and we'll proceed accordingly. I'll ask the state's attorney at this time, is there any objection to the criminal history which is stated in this report?
None, Your Honor.
Any objection by the defense, Mr. Watts?
Your Honor, I have reviewed same with my client. We believe it is correct. We have no objection.
Court will adopt the criminal history score as stated in the report and finds that that score applicable to today's sentencing on the primary count is criminal history score I, and the court will proceed further accordingly. I'll ask at this time, Mr. Sweeney, do you know of any legal reason why sentence should not be pronounced in this case here this afternoon?
None, Your Honor.
Mr. Watts, are you aware of any such legal reason?
No, sir.
Taylor Parikh, are you aware of a legal reason or any other good reason why we shouldn't go further with your sentencing today?
No, Your Honor.
We'll proceed further then. Counsel, I'm not aware that there's been a motion for a departure sentence or any other type of sentencing related motion to take up. Does the state have any motions to pursue?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Watts, does the defense have any such motions?
No, sir. Thank you.
Very well. Are there any victims or members of a victim's family who desires to address the court in relation to this sentencing?
Your Honor, again, my name is Ashley Kinman. I'm the social worker with Tunica Biloxi Tribe. I just wanted to reiterate that Taylor is currently on a detainer for treatment up to 12 months. I have received reports from his counselor there, and his intervention and his goals and objectives there. He has been on target and on task. He is working when he does have the time, when he is not in individual counseling or group counseling and group meetings. He has passed all of his drug screens and his attendance is on point.
Very well. Thank you for that information, Ms. Kim.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll proceed further at this time then, and I'll ask for recommendations from counsel regarding an appropriate sentence for Taylor Parikh, beginning with Brett Sweeney on behalf of the state of Kansas.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, the state is recommending for the primary count, which is count 2, the identity theft felony, we're recommending the standard mid-box 8 months in the Department of Corrections with the corresponding 20% good time percentage and the 12-month post-release supervision duration. The state will go ahead and acknowledge the 2 days of jail time credit given 13 to the 15. Your Honor, there is another count, the theft, which is Class A misdemeanor. The state's going to go ahead and recommend 12 months in the Butler County Jail. Would ask that that run concurrent with the 8 months on count 2, and that looks like that's pursuant to the plea agreement that's been reached between the state and defense counsel. The presumption here is presumptive probation. The state is going to go ahead and recommend that with a community corrections placement for a period of 18 months. It looks like all of the conditions that are listed within the PSI appear to be appropriate. I guess I would draw special attention to no contact with the victim. Everything else appears to be pretty standard. I'm sure the court will go over that in some detail. As far as costs and fees associated with the case, Your Honor, the state, I guess, primarily is recommending $853 in restitution, and that appears to be an amount that was taken from the victim's account. Additionally, the state is recommending court costs, any supervision fees that there might be, a $200 DNA fee for DNA database, as well as bids and attorney's fees, if appropriate. Additionally, I would note that the PSI has noted that he's got maybe some other outstanding cases, maybe out of a parish in Louisiana, or it sounds like we've got an update on the Tunica Biloxi tribal situation. But I did just want to point that out. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Very well. Thank you, Mr. Sweeney. Mr. Watson, your recommendations regarding an appropriate sentence here?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, in large part, join the state's recommendations. We pled to counts 2 and 3 would, as to count two, let me pull it up here again. As to count two, would recommend the standard range of 8 months in the Department of Corrections. Yep, that's it. And with the good time and post release as previously noted. Judge, as to count three, Judge, I'm going to actually ask the court to recommend a 6-month underlying sentence on count three. And the only reason for that, of course, if they're running concurrent, is to avoid, should he have to serve that time, to overstay that time. It seems to make no sense to get out of the Department of Corrections if he has to serve that, then come back and serve time in county jail. We'd have no objection to the restitution. I spoke with my client about the restitution figure, and it's my understanding he has no objection to that restitution figure.
Mr. Watts, did you reach a plea agreement where you knew the state was going to be recommending 12 months on count three?
Judge, I was just going through my email with Ms. Norris and going through that plea agreement, and what I have in my email is plea to counts 2 and 3. I don't have in my notes a specific recommendation as to time on the counts. If Mr. Sweeney's notes, or if he has some notes from Ms. Norris that are otherwise, I simply don't have any notes to that effect one way or the other.
And Your Honor, if I may, and I apologize, to the extent that the court's asking the state, I don't have notes to that. That was the one kind of question mark that I had. It's pretty standard for the court to recommend, for the state to recommend 12 months. And so that was just kind of a standard recommendation.
Thank you, counsel, for your clarification. All right, you may continue further, Mr. Watts.
I have nothing else, Your Honor. I don't think I need to add anything else.
How much are your fees in the representation of the client?
Judge, this would be billed to bids at $1,100.
Thank you. At this time, the court will address the defendant, Taylor Parite, personally, and I'll ask him if he has any statements that he wishes to make in mitigation of punishment or anything further that you would like to present to the court. Mr. Parite?
I would just like to say, I was in an addiction real bad, and I kind of did some things that I'm not proud of, and I know that I will have to suffer consequences, and just trying to get it behind me, just trying to get back on the right path, and just going to give it to God and continue to do the right thing.
Very well, Mr. Parite. Mr. Parite, there's some things about this case that are very atypical. Number one, I don't like sentencing a defendant on a felony case remotely. I want them immediately accountable to our court, our jail, our sheriff's office, our probation department the day that they're sentenced. Further, if the court does grant a probation sentence, I want them not only to start their probation locally, I want them to be in a local treatment program that's not only accountable to this court, but is close enough to the court that I'm familiar with them. We don't have those circumstances here. But every once in a while, Mr. Parite, there's a special set of circumstances involving a defendant which calls the case to be treated differently than the typical case. This, in this court's view, is one of those cases. The court hereby establishes count 2 as the base sentence in this case for the offense of identity theft, a severity level 8 non-drug, non-person felony, in which the defendant has a criminal history score of I, thus placing him in grid box 8I. The court hereby sentences the defendant to the standard term of 8 months in the custody of the Secretary of Corrections of the state of Kansas. On that sentence, the defendant may earn up to 20% of good time credit and would be subject to 12 months of post-release supervision. The court has considered but declines to impose a fine on that particular count. Moving to the additional offense of theft in count 3, a Class A non-person misdemeanor. The court imposes 6 months in the Butler County Jail and runs that time concurrently with the time on the felony count. The controlling sentence in this case, Mr. Parite, is 8 months in the custody of the Department of Corrections. In other words, 8 months prison sentence, with the 6-month jail sentence running concurrent to it. The court finds that in grid box 8I on the primary count, this is a presumptive probation offense under Kansas law. There's been no departure motion or case set before this court that would indicate a different result is called for here. This court will grant the defendant 18 months probation to be supervised by community corrections. I made some references earlier, Mr. Parade, about your case being atypical, in other words, different than the norm.
Yes,
One
Your
thing
Honor.
that you've got Ashley Kinman advocating for you, and you're in a program that makes so much sense. In other words, you're kind of in a confined, monitored treatment program where you're going to get the help you need, and hopefully the behavior changes and changes in judgment that you very desperately need, so that you don't just keep getting in trouble as a young man. This is a
Yes.
program that I wish that we had more access to here in Kansas. I'm not about to interfere with what appears to be a very successful program entry and continuation that you've demonstrated. I
Yes,
was
Your
quite
Honor.
curious as to what the report was going to be today on your participation in this program, and it appears to be nothing but favorable. I hope you keep it that way, Mr.
Yes,
Pruitt,
Your Honor.
and you do not backslide on me, because quite frankly, you can be brought back to Kansas on a warrant and face our Kansas prison time. But I
Yes,
would
Your Honor.
rather see you be in Louisiana and be successful there in this long-term treatment and, to an extent, confinement program.
And I don't know if in the course of treatment they have him on any type of medications. It would only make sense for him to be on mental health medications and possibly even something like methadone or Suboxone. But I don't know. They don't talk about that aspect of his treatment so much. But what I can say, I mean, we saw this guy when he was still in his addiction, and he seemed a bit, gosh, I don't even want to, more articulate than he seems now. He seems so far away right now that if you showed me the clips we have of this guy side by side and told me to point out which ones he was blitzed in, I'd pick this one because he just doesn't seem with it. And I thought that at the last hearing too, that even though he's in treatment, he sure does not seem with it. And I don't know if that's a consequence of the mental health medications and the drug addiction medications or what, but you know, and I'm very glad he's made the progress that he's made, and I hope he can sustain it. Yeah, but I am concerned. I hope this year-long treatment package that they have set forth for him, I hope he's very successful in it. I hope he comes out of it swinging, because right now I have concerns.
So the court will essentially be directing that the probation that's been granted in this case by community corrections be monitored remotely at the current time, as long as he is in the program that he's in. I think we're going to have some interstate compact paperwork and procedures that have to be followed. And I trust you would agree with that, Ms. Ashenfelter?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Would it be of assistance at all if I kept Mr. Parede on the Zoom meeting after we conclude the sentencing proceeding?
Yes, Judge, that would be great.
All right. So Taylor, even though I might recess court at the end, you stay on the meeting to meet with the community corrections officer, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Conditions will include reporting to that officer, essentially remotely as approved at this juncture. You have to observe all laws. You must successfully complete the program that you're in. You may be required by our local office to complete another alcohol or drug evaluation, a substance abuse evaluation. It would seem to be duplicative of what you're already doing, but if they require it, you'll do it.
Yes,
You will
sir.
not possess or consume alcohol or illegal drugs while on probation. At your supervising officer's request and at your own expense, you shall submit to random breath, blood, and urinalysis testing, perform any community service work pursuant to program requirements, To the extent feasible, you must gain and maintain employment throughout your probationary term. In other words, if you're not confined, Mr. Parikh, you need to be working to earn a living.
Yes, Your Honor.
You shall notify your supervising officer of any changes in your employment, residence, phone number, or email address within 24 hours of any such change taking place. Discharge from the current program that you are in is also going to require immediate notice to your Kansas Community Corrections Officer. I sure hope you don't get kicked out of there, Mr. Parikh.
Yes, sir.
Shall
I'm
have
not.
no contact with the victim in this case. Submit your DNA to the KBI data bank and be responsible for the $200 cost of the test. Abide by any curfew or travel restrictions which are placed upon you by your officer. Follow all standard conditions of probation, not have in your possession firearms or dangerous weapons. Avoid disreputable characters and places, and make monthly payments on your obligations in a manner acceptable to the court. Court will be ordering you to pay a felony docket fee, felony probation fee, community corrections fee, the $200 DNA fee that I referred to earlier, and $853 in restitution to the victim. I will waive all bids assessments in this case. Court finding that Mr. Parikh, given his current situation, is not likely to generate enough financial resources to pay bids attorney fees, I will waive those. We've already dealt with the issue of jail time credit. I will repeat it. 2 days of jail time credit shall be reflected by the sentencing journal entry in this case. Mr. Parikh, at some point in the future, you may have the right to seek expungement of one or more of these offenses. Certain statutory limitations do apply. If you have any questions about expungement rights in the future, you can address those to a Kansas lawyer, and I'm sure get your questions answered. Under certain limited circumstances, a criminal defendant may have the right to appeal their convictions to an appellate court having jurisdiction. And if you are unable to pay the cost of an appeal, the defendant may request the court to appoint a lawyer to represent them on appeal and to direct that the defendant be supplied with a transcript of trial court proceedings. Pursuant to KSA 22-3608C, Mr. Parikh, you, the defendant, have 14 days after this judgment in court to file any notice of appeal with the clerk of the district court of Butler County, Kansas. You do have the right to appeal this sentence if the court has ruled adversely to you at this hearing. And I'll remind you that there's prohibitions against a convicted felon possessing a firearm, and there are losses of certain civil rights, such as the right to vote, until your sentence is fully discharged. We had a lot of ground to cover here, Mr. Sweeney. Are you aware of any sentencing related matter that the court has not yet addressed?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. I'm struggling a little bit here with an additional probation condition here in Kansas. Ms. Kinman, what would his expected earliest possible release date from your program be?
Your Honor, we, with it being in tribal court, we have the liberty to extend. His original was 12 months, but we do have the ability to extend that to 18 months if necessary. Because the crime that he committed was not only in our county, but also on the reservation. And so they have merged those two together, and the county has allowed the tribe to take care of and monitor it because we just have more resources. So, and I would get with Christy on that. Any other recommendations or requirements need be, the judge here will be cooperative and eager to assist and have him attend a longer engaged treatment services. But ultimately, we will follow him for at least 24 months.
All right, Mr. Parikh, I'm going to make a specific probation condition in your Kansas case that you have to successfully complete the tribal court program in Louisiana. You wash out of that program, it's a probation violation here.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
you've got even more incentive now to successfully complete that program, because that wouldn't be not only messing up in Louisiana, you'd be messing up in Kansas as well.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But I have every reason to believe, Mr. Parikh, that you're going to be successful. We won't even have to worry about that.
Yes, sir. I sure will.
And I know that
Thank-
you're done committing crimes like Ms. Kinman was talking about or what was involved here, right?
I mean, at minimum, he's going to be successful for the 2-year mark. I'll put money on that bet. And I pray for the years that follow.
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's a good answer. I would have expected that answer, Mr. Parikh. You've obviously thought about it. But now you just need to do it. You need to do it.
Yes, sir. That's right.
I'm not going to tell you that the road that you're on is going to be easy. This is a long-term program, and you're going to be putting up with a lot of rules, a lot of requirements, and maybe even a degree of loss of freedom. But I think in the long run, Taylor, you're going to look back at this at some point in the future and realize how very valuable a time this was in your life.
Yes,
So
sir.
you continue to embrace the program and do well in it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. I'll ask Mr. Watson, Mr. Sweeney collectively, between the two of you, is there anything further that I need to address here or any clarification needed?
None that I need, Your Honor.
If I may, Judge, only one, and I think you about 90% covered it. It sounds like we have a probationary period here of 18 months. It sounds like it is entirely possible, although not a given, that he may complete his program down there in Louisiana before that 18 months. Do I understand that correctly?
It sounds like that's a possibility.
Okay. Should that be the case, I presume the court would require him to report here in Kansas upon his release from that program in Louisiana. Would that be correct?
Christy? I've already ordered him to have to report
Well,
to Christy immediately. But
Well, I guess the flip side of that, Judge, is we're already done an interstate compact, so that may not be necessary.
well, I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work with a tribal court being involved, but Christy,
Well-
can you give any further direction from the Community Corrections Department?
Your Honor, as long as he, from what I understand, as long as he is going through the interstate compact, he shouldn't have to come back here to complete that time. If
All right.
I could be wrong though.
Okay.
Just remember that if you leave that program, Taylor, you've got to immediately report that to the Community Corrections Department here in Kansas. So
Yes,
that they're
sir.
advised at all times what your status is and what your residence is.
And Your Honor, we can extend that to, and like I said, my hope, he was a probation, a detainer for 12 months, but I think even in conversating with Taylor and the judge, there would be no concern for him to execute the 18 months with no problem. His desire is not to come back to this local county or parish that he's in to reside in the area where his treatment support team resides. So I don't foresee if there's any problems, Christy and I can communicate and we can coordinate and work. I hate for him to have to go to Kansas for that when we can allocate his treatment services locally, if that adheres to the court standards.
It certainly does, Ms. Kinman. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right. Christy Ashenfelder from Community Corrections, do you need any further clarification regarding the court's orders?
No, Judge. Thank you.
All right. Ms. Donovan, thank you for your work on the case. Ms. Kinman, again, thank you for your support and your input to this court.
Absolutely. Thank you for allowing me.
Your
Uh,
Honor, do I need to amend the jail time on the PSI?
Not necessarily. As long as the journal entry of sentencing reflects 2 days, the court would be satisfied.
Thank
I know
you.
you submitted the 1 day in good faith, so I don't think we need to amend that. Okay. All right then. If there's nothing further then, the Taylor Parikh matter is currently in recess. We can stop recording.
Sir.
Yeah, I wondered how many people the conversating would anger. The answer seems to be 3. I don't know. It hasn't hit Replay Crew Mini yet. And I Googled, is conversating a word? No, conversate is a word. Converse is a word, but conversating does not appear in the dictionary. So, well, it does say it's a gerund or present participle, conversating. It doesn't seem fond of it, though. About as fond of it as you guys were.
Next case is State of Kansas versus Mark Allen Russell, 23 CR 72. Good afternoon, Mr. Russell.
Good afternoon, sir.
Mr. Russell, you're back before the court, and it is alleged that you are in violation of the terms and conditions of your probation. A warrant to show cause has been issued, that you failed to report, that you were evicted from Oxford House Sober Living, failed to provide employment verification, that you failed to complete your MRT program, that you've not made any payments toward the case as of this date, and you've not completed the Senate Bill 123 alcohol and drug treatment program.
Sir, can I say something or?
Yes.
Okay, I was doing excellent and all that. And I asked my PO if I could transfer because I have no transportation to come from Cedric County up here back and forth. And she refused that to me. And it was a spiral outcome because I couldn't get back and forth. I was violating every other day something. And I don't know what to do. And I got scared and I just quit reporting and I moved because they keep me out of Oxford House and everything. I didn't know what to do. I should have called somebody or something, but I mean, when she refused to let me transfer until I finished this class, I have no way to get up here to this class. There was nothing that was out of my control. I don't know what to do.
I was scared of having to go to jail, so I did something that would ensure I would definitely go to jail.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Russell.
I mean, I'm not making excuses or nothing.
Surely. You're previously sentenced by Judge Crum, and therefore the case will go back before Judge Crum on his warrant to show cause docket, and that is scheduled for Friday, April 18, 2025 at 2:30. Friday, April 18, 2025, 2:30 before Judge Crum. And you do need to be present at that time. Judge Crum has set a $10,000 cash or surety bond on you. $10,000 cash or surety bond. So that's the current status of your case. And
so we have one bond. One bond.
You have one bond, 10,000 cash or surety. I don't know if you have other cases. This is the only case.
They said that there was a probation violation one too.
This is the probation violation case.
Okay.
This is the probation violation case.
Okay. All right.
Anything further, Mr. Devaney?
Your Honor, previously Joe Favre was appointed his attorney, and I'd ask that he be reappointed for this matter.
That is the order of the court. Joe Favre is reappointed to represent Mr. Russell at all stages of the proceedings.
Judge, is there any way I can get a bond reduction? Because I mean, it'd be hard for me to come up with that.
Mr. Russell, I am going to honor Judge Crum's bond. He's familiar with your case. That might be something you could bring up before Judge Crum, although it's because of scheduling, it would be difficult, I would think, to have that brought up before that April 18 date.
Okay.
All right, there being nothing further to come before the court is in recess.
Like cash surety, I mean, 10% of that's for sure. It's
Have
really
a good day.
whatever the bond wants to charge you, but I usually charge you 10%.
I love how punny you are, Mortimer Duke.
And sir, your name?
My name is Darius Ging.
Just a moment. Thank you, sir. Case is entitled State of Kansas versus Darius Nathaniel Gring, 24 TR 2285.
Sir, it's actually Ging. There's no R in the last name. It's just G-I-N-G.
G-I-N-G. Okay, thank you, sir. Mr. Ging, you are present before the court after appearing on traffic docket or failing to appear on traffic docket November 20, 2024 before Judge Webster at 9 a.m. And then once again on traffic docket March 5th, 2025, failing to appear at that time. And subsequently, your case now comes back before the court, and you're actually appearing for a first time before the court. And Mr. Ging, you are charged by way of information on or about May 25th, 2024 in Butler County, Kansas, with driving while license is suspended or canceled, a Class A non-person misdemeanor, and Mr. Ging, that is the only charge pending against you. Do you understand that charge?
Yes, sir.
You do have the right to counsel. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be appointed to represent you. Are you currently employed?
No, sir.
How long has it been since you worked?
Probably about 2 months.
Do you have any savings put back to hire an attorney?
No, sir.
Based on your lack of financial wherewithal, the court does appoint Darren Patterson. Darren Patterson is appointed to represent you at all stages of the proceedings. Court sets your next appearance date. This would be on Monday, June 9, 2025, 8 a.m. before Judge Webster. Monday, June 9, 2025, 8 a.m. before Judge Webster. You do need to be present by Zoom process at that time. The court finds that Judge Webster has ordered a new bond at $2,500 cash or surety, $2,500 cash or surety bond. And anything further, Mr. DeVinny?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Ging, any questions?
So is the cash or surety bond the only thing that is that my only option of getting out is just bonding out?
Well, at this point in time, I do not know if there are any holds on you outside of this case in this jurisdiction, or if there are any other cases that have holds on you. I don't know. If there are no other holds on you, the only thing that's retaining you in the jail is the bond requirement of $2,500 cash or surety bond. $2,500 cash or surety bond. And do you have any other questions?
No, sir, that's it.
There being nothing further to come before the court, court is in recess.
Thank
And
you.
you're free to go. Have a good day.
Attorney information, this is your next court date, your bonds.
Next case on first appearance docket, State of Kansas versus Callum Daniel Dunn, 25 CR 136. Good afternoon, Mr. Dunn.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Dunn, you are charged by way of information on or about November 1st, 2023 through November 19, 2023 in Butler County, Kansas.
Daddies, hide your daughters.
with rape, an off-grid person felony. This is allegedly of unlawfully engaging in the act of sexual intercourse with a child under 14 years of age, initials LET, and year of birth 2010, when you were 18 years of age or older and not married to LET, year of birth 2010.
Yeah, I guarantee he's over 18. He looks like he's in his mid to late 30s, at least. Gross.
At the time of the act or acts. And Mr. Dunn, do you understand the charges pending against you?
Yes, I do.
You do have the right to counsel. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be appointed to represent you. Are you currently employed?
Yes, I work at the Pawnee and Broadway Walmart in Wichita. I'm actually in training to be a team lead there.
Okay. And what is the what's your level of compensation? How much are you paid?
$14 an hour.
14 an hour. And you're full-time employed?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Dunn, you may retain whomever you wish to represent you, but based on 40 hours a week at $14 an hour, I think you may have quite a bit of difficulty in retaining counsel to represent you. So the court does appoint counsel to represent you, and that is Chris Pate. Chris Pate is appointed to represent you at all stages of the proceedings. So you may retain whomever you wish, but the court at this time does appoint Mr. Pate. Subsequently, this matter is scheduled before Judge Crum, and the court does set this on Judge Crum's felony preliminary hearing control docket, Monday, April 14, 2025, 2:30. Monday, April 14, 2025, 2:30 before Judge Crum, and that process will be by Zoom. That will be by Zoom. This is a case that the court, apparently, I believe this is correct, has been advised that Judge Crum has reviewed this matter, and Judge Crum has ordered a $100,000 cash or surety bond. Judge Crum has ordered a $100,000 cash or surety bond. So that's the bond that's in force and effect at this point in time. So just to recap, counsel's been appointed. Your next date has been set by Zoom before Judge Crum on what is entitled the felony preliminary hearing control docket, Monday, April 14, 2025 at 2:30. And Judge Crum has set your bond in the amount of $100,000 cash or surety. Now, any other matters to come before the court? Mr. Devaney?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Dunn, do you have any questions?
Was the officer supposed to Mirandarize me before they served me with the warrant? Because I was never read my rights. I was never given a chance to call for a bond or anything.
Okay.
Is that a matter
the bond is, I do not know exactly when you were arrested, but based on this matter being taken up on a Wednesday, I think that your appearance before a magistrate within 48 hours has been met. I don't know that, but I would think that's typically the means and manner. But in regards to any legal advice, I'm not going to discuss that and go through with you as far as Mirandizing you or not, what was said, what wasn't said. that's something for you to take up with Mr. Pate. He's a very capable, competent attorney representing you herein.
Do you know when I can meet him? When I can talk with him at least?
I think you need to make arrangements with the jail to try to give him, I think, a telephone call to try to make arrangements to meet with him. I think he will be open and he will make himself available in a timely fashion. Anything further, Mr. Dunn? There being nothing further to come before the court is in recess. Okay, have a good day.
You too.
Judge, I'm
Yes.
sorry, did I miss, were there any bond conditions?
And the court makes inquiry to Mr. Devaney, any bond conditions.
No contact with any endorsed witnesses, which would be standard conditions of the bond, Your Honor.
That is the order of the court. Court does order no contact with endorsed witnesses herein. Thank you, Chris. Court is in recess.
Okay, next one I have is Andrew Abbott.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yep. So that pretty much dictated to me how that whole case is going to go, because he's clearly uneducated about the legal system and about law enforcement. He has his own beliefs. You know, I'm not going to say he's a soft sit because he didn't present as such, but he's definitely one that would be open to becoming a soft sit, I bet you. But he already thinks he knows everything. This next guy, I think he's just dressing dapper for court. Yeah. Oh, man. That was just gross. Yes, that's the perfect word for it. Gross. Yeah. Anyways, you're welcome, and I'm sorry at the same time.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Court is, this is in regards to State of Kansas versus Andrew Mark Abbott, 25 CR 75. Good afternoon, Mr. Abbott.
Good afternoon.
The court is in receipt of your bond that has been posted in the amount of $1,500 surety, and the court does approve the same. And Mr. Abbott, you are at this point in time charged by way of information on or about August 29, 2024 in Butler County, Kansas with theft, a level 9 non-person felony. This was in one part of the count 1 with a 2007 Suzuki Boulevard motorcycle allegedly owned by a Cameron Fonts, or in the alternative, you're charged with the theft of a white 2015 Sharp enclosed box trailer, and that was allegedly owned by a Sean Milligan or Cameron Fonts. That is the only charge pending against you. And do you understand the charge?
Not exactly.
Okay. I understand you may very well deny the charges against you, but do you want me to read the information back to you?
Well, no, I'd gotten what you said, but I just didn't quite understand it, I guess. Like, I don't.
Let me go back through it and I'll try to go slowly, okay?
Right.
Okay, count 1, you're charged on or about August 29, 2024 in Butler County, Kansas with unlawfully obtaining control over property or services by deception of a 2007 Suzuki Boulevard motorcycle with the intent to permanently deprive the owner, Cameron Fonts, of the possession, use, or benefit of said property or service of a value of at least $1,500 but less than $25,000 in violation of the appropriate Kansas statute, commonly referred to as theft, a level 9 non-person felony. Or in the alternative, you're charged same date and location that you did then and there unlawfully obtain control over stolen property or services, to wit, a white 2015 Sharp enclosed box trailer, knowing the property or services to have been stolen by another with the intent to permanently deprive the owner, a Sean Milligan or Cameron Fonts, of the possession, use, or benefit of said property, value of at least $1,500 but less than $25,000 in violation of the appropriate Kansas statute, commonly referred to as theft, a level 9 non-person felony. And that's the charge pending against you.
Okay.
Mr. Abbott, you do have the right to counsel. If you cannot afford an attorney, one would be appointed to represent you. Are you currently employed?
Yes, sir.
What type of work do you do?
As business owner of a towing service, and I do a property management maintenance for Cedar Mills, property management out of Wichita.
Do you have an idea approximately what type of monthly income you have?
Lately it's been about 2,300.
Is that net or gross?
That's what I've been bringing home. Yeah.
Okay. And do you have that's $2,300 monthly?
Yeah.
Okay.
That I was bringing home. Yeah.
Do you have any money put back in savings to hire an attorney?
Not much anymore.
Okay. Well, you may retain whomever you wish to represent you in the case, but based on what I believe might be a lack of financial wherewithal, the court does appoint Jim Watts to represent you at all stages of the proceedings. Jim Watts is appointed to represent you at all stages of the proceedings. Subsequently, the court does schedule this matter before Judge Crum, and this would be on the felony preliminary control docket, Monday, April 14, 2025 at 2:30. Monday, April 14, 2025, 2:30 before Judge Crum. You do need to be present by Zoom hearing at that time. Monday, April 14, 2025, 2:30, Judge Crum.
Okay. It says by Zoom.
It is by Zoom.
Okay. I'd read on a piece of paper that I had that it said you can do a Zoom if you give them your email or phone number. Is that correct? So you don't have to drive all the way here for that? Or is that just the first?
I don't particularly pretend to know the technology behind all of this, but typically people are able to participate by Zoom at that point in time. You can always appear right where you are today.
Right.
Mr. Watts is actually across the on West Central on the north side of the street. I think that Al can give you some directions about where he is. Mr. DeVinny, do you wish to have Mr. Abbott either appear at the Butler County Judicial Building or Mr. Watts's office?
I don't think he's required necessarily to appear at, I have no such requirement if Mr. Watts is going to be appearing on his behalf. That'd be between him and Mr. Watts, if Mr. Watts has a preference. With regard to the issue of the email, I just might advise the court, Mr. Abbott can certainly notify the clerk of the court what his email address is before he leaves. And I'm sure Al can direct him down to the clerk's office so he can make sure that that data is received. So he receives that Zoom notification. It would not have to appear in person. But if Mr. Watts requires Mr. Abbott to be at his office, then he probably needs to do whatever Mr. Watts wants.
Right. Right.
Okay, very well. Any other questions, Mr. Abbott?
I'm not at this time.
All right, anything further, Mr. DeVinny?
No, Your Honor.
There being nothing further, court is in recess. Have a good day, Mr. Abbott. Next case is Andrew Gene Neal. Andrew Gene Neal, good afternoon. Mr. Neal, in regards to your extradition case, apparently with the state of Missouri, there have been no charges filed, or there's not been a governor's warrant that has been executed. Subsequently, I have been advised that Judge Satterfield is familiar with your case, and she is advised that your case at this time is dismissed for lack of prosecution in regards to extradition. That's in regards to your 24 TR 2285. The court now orders that dismissed. I have been requested by Judge Satterfield to remind you that your Greenwood County case is still to go forward on Thursday, April 10, 2025 at 10 a.m. Thursday, April 10, 2025, 10 a.m. and that will be by Zoom.
Yes,
Thursday,
sir.
April 10, 2025, 10 a.m. by Zoom. That's in regards to your Greenwood County case number 24 CR 30. 24 CR 30. So your Butler County case 24 TR 2285 is dismissed for lack of prosecution of the extradition proceeding. However, your case remains in force and effect and going forward in Greenwood County, Kansas. That's scheduled for April 10, 2025, 10 a.m. by Zoom.
Yes, sir.
Judge, just
Yes.
a quick, this case is actually BU 24 MR 127 instead of TR.
Court stands corrected. 24, the case that is dismissed is 24 M as in Mary, R as in Ralph, 127.
All right, so am I being released now, sir?
You would be released. I don't know what your status is out of Greenwood County,
No,
but
okay.
I do not show any type of a hold on you out of Greenwood County. I think you need to appear
Yes.
April 10, 2025 at 10 a.m. by Zoom.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Your Butler County case, M as in Mary, R as in Ralph, 24 MR 127.
Okay.
That is dismissed.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Mr. Devaney, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
There being nothing further, court is in recess. Have a good day, Mr. Neal.
You too, sir.
Now, up next.
Yeah, so if I understand that correctly, he was supposed to be extradited and instead he's walking out the door?
Is Sandy Townhomes versus Deandrick Springle, Kahari Jordan, Kevin Springle, or Manthea Jordan. Any of those individuals here? I'm looking for last names: Springle, Jordan, Springle, and Jordan. Sounds like a law firm. Springle, is there Deandrick or Kevin Springle? Is there a Kahari or Manthea Jordan? Jordan or Springle? Let the record reflect that nobody has responded.
There may be one. There may be a Jordan on.
I see one at the top. That's why I'm just curious. You got to unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Here we go.
Yes.
All right. So,
Okay.
Did you file an application for rental assistance?
Yes, I did, but I'm not sure. I didn't understand my rights as you was reading them. And then also I was told by Department of Human Services that they do not pay the full amount. They only give you like $500. I don't know if that's true because this is my first time doing all this, but
I
$500
don't
would go ahead. I'm sorry.
I don't know what they give you. I think it's just based on income and I think it's just based on need. And then they come up with a number. So I can't confirm or deny that.
Okay.
But I mean, assistance is assistance. I mean, so, and as far as your rights, what part did you not understand?
The part about when, okay, I'm in a judgment, will the amount accrue while we're waiting on other things to happen, such as the help that they're supposed to give us?
Will you still be living there?
So here's the thing. You have a lease. In your lease, there's a due date of every month when your monthly payment comes up. I'm assuming it's probably around the first of the month. Let's just say let's just for the sake of example, let's just say it's $100 a month. So at the first of every month, another $100 charge comes up. I'm here to find out how many of those you missed, how many of those you paid, and if there's a difference between the two. That's my job, is to figure out what exactly the amount of rent is that's due and owing. If there's any assistance that pays it, that has nothing to do with my calculations. If I come up with it says you owe 700 and the assistance pays 5, you owe 2. You got to come up with the balance. That's the part what I said, and I'll pull that up real quick for you if you'd like. If you do get any kind of financial assistance, and this is that part of that presentation, any rents that are paid by a financial assistance program that do not cover the entire amount of rent that you owe, that balance must be paid by you, the tenant, or through some other assistance program. I mean, if you qualify for 2 different programs, okay, God bless you. Have at it. And if it takes care of your whole balance, again, God bless. But if it doesn't, to the extent that it doesn't, you need to take care of that balance. Okay, is that what you were wondering about with the how does it work with the 2?
Yes. Is it possible? Can I speak with the attorney or no?
Yeah, you can speak with the attorney today.
Okay.
So do you but let me get to the other thing is you stated that you have filed. So what I'm going to do is I'll let you speak with him. But if you work out something, that's fine. You can work it out. And then if not, I'm going to go ahead and take your information under oath and see what's going on with because I would have to put in the stay provisions if you don't work it out. Okay.
Right. My concern is that I will be denied and they will not help me. And then that's my issue, So right now, I don't know what's going on because I haven't heard anything. I haven't got any notices in the mail. So it's kind of like at a standstill right now.
All right. So what if you wanted to talk to the attorney today, what do you want to know? Do you want to know your total balance? Is that what you're looking for?
Yes, I was going to just pay the total balance myself. And if the help come in, if they come in, that's fine too. But
yeah, sure. Hang on 1 second, because I think what you're going to do is you're probably going to come back on the 16th, and Mr. Brown's going to tell me what your total balance is this morning. Okay, because that just gives you more time to take care of applications and get yourself squared or whatever you're going to do. So, Mr. Brown,
the current rent to retain possession is $4,719. That includes April's rent. Costs of $297 for a total of $5,016.
Okay.
So that's the grand total. That's the grand total.
No. I've made a payment. I'm sorry. I'm not sure why he can't see that. I paid $1,100.
Okay.
When
did you pay that?
On the 1st, April 1st.
Okay, that was yesterday. Like I said, remember when we started this off, I said if you make a payment, there's a process and it doesn't just happen instantaneously. So that's what that's about. So I'm sure that there's a lesser amount, obviously maybe minus the 1,100 that you made. He doesn't have that process. It probably hasn't even cleared the bank yet. So What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and ask you, do you solemnly swear or affirm that everything you're telling me that you've already told me is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes,
All right, and you said you filed an application for rental assistance?
yes.
And with which agency did you file that application?
Department of Human Services.
Okay, and I have Form DC 539 right here. Would you like to give me permission and consent to sign your name to the form?
I need to understand what I'm consenting to. I'm sorry.
All right, so you filed an application for rental assistance. It states that under the court rules, you have 5 days to file this form. And on this form, I don't know if you can see it, but on this form, you see where it says rental assistance, proof of application?
Yes.
Well, that's what this form is basically saying. It's saying that you're under oath and that, yes, you filed an application for rental assistance. And then down below, it has, which did you file it with? And I checked the box for you of Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. All I'm asking is if you were here in person, I would just hand you this form. You could fill it out and then hand it back to me so I can put it in your court file. But because we're on Zoom, I'm just asking, do you want me to sign that for you that says that you filed for Health and Human Services? Because now that means that it kicks in that 14-day stay. But without this form, it doesn't kick in the stay. So you either have to come down here to the court within 5 days of today and fill out this form in person, or you can give me permission and consent to sign it on your behalf. That's all I'm asking.
Yes, you can sign it on my behalf.
Okay, no, that activates the stay. I'm gonna go ahead and set this up for the 16th. I'm marking down that you filed an application that I took proof of that on the record. They're gonna come back on the 8/42. 8/42.
Now, I might be wrong, but I hope I'm wrong. I'm not going to tell you yet what I think, but yeah, let's just say I hope I'm wrong.
And in the meantime, stay safe and have a blessed day.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thanks, Mr. Order.
And if you want to rewatch the whole presentation, ma'am, to get any of that information, you can do that on YouTube. Okay.
I appreciate it. Okay, thank you.
All right. Yep. Take care.
Ms. Lyra?
Hello. Now, she had said earlier that she was just going to go ahead and pay it and then wait for the assistance to come in. So I'm just curious if she really needs the assistance or not. Like, she seemed like she had the money set aside.
Hi, it looks like we were having issues with your insurance. Did you keep insurance the whole 180 days?
I don't think it was the whole 180 days because my car ended up getting totaled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I did find a paper where it showed that I had insurance, but it wasn't from the date that you told me.
Okay, let me take a look.
Okay.
So when did your car get totaled?
In May.
So what were you driving after that?
I wasn't driving actually. I was with my ex and we were in his car.
And he would always drive?
Yeah. We worked together, so he would drive me to work and
I was like, what? Okay. So what kind of car does your ex drive?
he did. His car actually got totaled not that long ago too.
What did he drive?
He had a Lexus, a GS 430.
So whose 2007 Ford Mustang did you get the ticket in?
Oh, that one was my brother's car. He don't have that car no more.
Was it totaled? I swear this girl's a curse. Every vehicle she talks about, well, that one's totaled. That one's totaled. Stay away from the keys.
Okay. So what are you driving now?
Right now I'm actually looking for a vehicle.
You have the finances to have a vehicle and insurance and all that?
Yeah.
Well, because you're doing community service, so that's why I'm confused.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to save up for it. Right now I don't, but that's my plan is to get a car because I need a car to get to work and stuff. My brother right now, he's taking me to work.
Okay, I'm gonna dismiss your insurance ticket. But on this one with your community service hours, you were supposed to have 19 hours turned in. Where are you on that?
Yes, ma'am. I have 5 or 3. I think I have 5 more hours left. I haven't been able to finish because I was working.
Well, Judge Ratliff's notified you that, or she wanted you to turn your hours in that you have done. Oh, I guess she told the clerk to tell you that, but I don't think you've received that notice yet. Can you? Okay. So I'm gonna give you until the 15th, okay?
Okay. I
Is
should
that
have
enough
it done.
time?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I'm gonna extend on 607-21384, extend time to complete to 4:15. I need it all turned in by 4:15, okay? So
Okay.
that gives you where are you doing your community service?
At the food bank.
Okay. So it gives you 2 weeks to get that done. Okay?
And do they send it over to you or do I get the paper?
I think they give it back to you, but the food bank is great because they will confirm your log for you right there. Like if we know when we get it from them or whether or not it's already, they verify it for us is what I'm telling you. It works out great. So make sure you get everything filled in on your log and get them to verify it before you bring it to me, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
And do I have
I
to
made
make
that sound I made it sound complicated and it's not.
do I have to
Okay.
make like an appointment or do I come in on the 15th to give you the paper?
No,
Or do
just
I-
bring it in. Just drop it off.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Miss Lear, good luck.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. You're free to go.
Thank you. Bye.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Do we have everyone that we need for the hearing?
I think so.
Yes.
This is in the District Court of Ellis County, Kansas, case number 25 DM 52. It's in the matter of Callie Priest versus Jeremy Priest. Are you Callie Priest?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And are you currently in the state of Kansas?
I am not.
You're outside the state?
Yes, I'm in Georgia right now.
Are you subjecting yourself to the jurisdiction of the state of Kansas?
Yes.
Okay. And you're Jeremy Priest?
Yes, I'm Jeremy.
And you're within the state of Kansas right now?
Yes, I am.
Okay. We are on for a final hearing on a request for protection from stalking that was filed in this matter. It was filed back on March 17th, 2025. I'm sorry, March 16th, 2025. Mr. Priest, you were personally served on March 17th, 2025.
Yes.
Okay. Both parties understand that this is being broadcast by Zoom or by YouTube that is required to make this an open public hearing. You understand that?
Yes.
Okay. And Mr. Jeremy Priest, you understand that Callie is requesting a restraining order at this time?
Yeah, I got that.
I'm gonna warn you guys now, this one gets kind of wild.
Okay. Are you opposed to her having a restraining order?
I mean, I haven't talked to her in like a year, so I mean, I was sorry I went off on her the other day, but it was not 19 voicemail.
Okay. I don't want to get into your case just yet. Right now, I'm simply asking, she's requesting a restraining order. Are you agreeable to that or are you opposed to that?
I mean, I don't really want to talk to her again, so. Am I opposed? What? Yeah, I'm opposed to it.
Okay.
So, Ms. Callie Priest, you'll need to present your case.
Okay.
And you can call whatever witnesses you need to call.
Okay.
Present the evidence you wish to present to the court. And then, Mr. Priest, you'll have a chance to cross-examine her witnesses. And then, Mr. Priest, you'll have a chance to testify, and she'll have a chance to cross-examine you or any witnesses you choose to call, okay?
Okay.
Okay. So, Ms. Callie Priest, who would you like to call first?
Just myself.
Okay. Would you raise your right hand, please? You solemnly swear and or affirm that the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, subject to the penalties for perjury in the state of Kansas.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you're subjecting yourself to the jurisdiction of the state of Kansas for your testimony here today.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Okay.
Screen sharing.
All right. So this started around the end of January when he did not return my sister from a visit and I somehow got involved. I have had no contact with him since December and I have not seen him in months before that. So he first texted me talking about how he's upset with me and how I treated my sister was so wrong and that he's terrified I'm going to come kidnap my sister. Then saying he hates his uncle for how he treated him, and he said he doesn't care, or he doesn't know if he should care that he had a stroke and that I am my sister's sister and not her mother. He then, 3 days later, goes on to text me after I have not responded. I don't know if you have me blocked or not. I still love you. I want a future with you, but what you did and never will be okay again. You need to apologize, and I'm going to yell at you if we ever talk again. And my parents had court on February 4th, and my sister got returned. He then went on to Facebook and posted a numerous amount of Facebook posts here, a few that have my name in them. He said, maybe my 18-year-old will talk to me again someday sooner. I might help her in a few years if she gets therapy. Callie is with her mom right now. Do I deserve to be on handcuffs on my porch? He then posts my phone number, accusations saying I illegally went through his car and then asking why I was not calling him back. He then said he should have done this years ago and that he still would be talking to me and my youngest sister. He then posts those texts that I read to you earlier. He then posted my last conversation with him before that, and that was in December. He took my siblings to Topeka and promised my sister she could go to volleyball practice. He then said she couldn't go, so I offered to go to Topeka to get her, and so that's just what those text messages are. He then started commenting on some of his posts, saying that he will start sending my texts on here unless she wants to call me, and stories from Emmy unless Callie calls me too. I guess I'll have my lawyer get her arrested too. I have the proof. Then some more. I want Addie and Callie to be safe and happy here. I missed the F out of them. Ask Callie about the Christmas present I bought her. She has not been here since I bought it. Effing TikTok light. He then texted my boyfriend. This is all on the same night. He then texted my boyfriend saying, you need to break up with Callie, dude. And then that same night, the February 4th, texted me, might want to check Facebook, B-word, have fun without my money. I bet mom is in a lot of credit card debt. She is crazy, Callie. Have fun in this town now. Sorry you made me do it. I'll be calling the cops again tomorrow about my car, regardless whether or not you drop her off. I will be turning you both in and will be pressing charges, then sent me random screenshots. And then he then texted my mom some things, and I'll just read what I was involved in, but he said, hope your phone number is fun to relearn. Callie will probably need a new one too, talking about how he posted our phone numbers on Facebook and encouraging people to harass us. He then went on to send memes to me and my mom that night as well. Then on March 7th, I did not respond to any of those messages in between any of those. He then has left me alone since that February 4th until March 7th. And that is when, around the time I heard he returned to Ellis from my family. He was in Topeka with his brother and was in a mental health hospital for a while. So I just was working an overnight shift as a CNA in a nursing home, and I randomly get this text. So he texted me, "Your mother is an effing alcoholic child. I hope you aren't letting her drive you guys places. What the F has been going on over there, effing child? What the F is wrong with you, Callie?" And all I said back was, "Jeremy, please leave me alone. I truly hope you get the help you need." And then he texts me, "Don't even bother. Keep it up and you can go to jail for neglect too. I want my Xmas present back I bought you. You never even came over here to thank me for it. It better be on my effing porch in an hour, selfish child. I will call the cops on you. You have 1 hour. I want the light I bought back. Hurry the F up, daughter. Stop abusing me. Do you effing think I'm effing losing, or I'm effing back because I'm effing losing? What the F? I'm effing moving to Kansas City. My effing TikTok light on my porch by 8 p.m. Callie. Call Vanessa and talk to her. Ask your best friend how many times she effing called the cops on me. Are you getting drunk with her?" He then went on to send me 19 voicemails throughout those text messages. And that Christmas present he is implying came home with my younger sisters. Sorry. He did not. I didn't expect a Christmas gift. I didn't ask for a Christmas gift. He gave me a gift, or he gave a gift and sent it home with my sisters on Christmas Eve. And then here are those voicemails. Can you hear them okay?
Nothing's playing yet.
Okay, let me.
This girl sure delivers.
We try that.
You fucking stole that light from me, Callie. Where the
Can you guys hear it now?
Yes.
Okay.
fuck is it? It's gonna be my fucking porch right fucking now. Where the fuck have you been, Callie? How dare you fucking treat me this way? What the fuck is wrong with you? You're going to fucking jail now for all I care. Evidence number one, I can use voicemails in court, just so you know. Emmy had ADHD medication in 3 different medication bottles by the time I got the pills. Evidence number two, by the time Emmy got back to your house when your mom fucking stole her from me, you already had her door off, her bedroom door. Kelly, you're going to jail now too. You better fucking call me back. Evidence number 3, you fucking think you deserve my money and just think you could deserve to go places instead of me. You think you deserve to go to the ocean and see the ocean instead of me. You think you're entitled to my fucking money for some reason. Why do you think I have to pay for everything of yours for the rest of your life? You will never see another fucking dime from me ever fucking again, Callie. Where the fuck is my light you stole from me? Bring my fucking TikTok light back right fucking now. I did not give it to you as a president. Give it fucking back to me. I bought it. Evidence number 4. Why are you calling me back? I've not heard from you since like November. Or no, December, when you just felt, oh my God, Christmas happened. Whoa, where am I? I just think I'm better than everyone. You think you're an equal with me. You're my fucking daughter, Callie. You will always be my daughter. I will always be your father. Where the fuck is my TikTok light, Callie? You fucking thieving bitch. Bring me back the shit I fucking paid for. You don't fucking deserve it. You fucking stole it from me. Why the fuck is it on my porch now? You have 24 minutes before I start calling the police. Stop fucking continuing to help my ex-wife abuse me, Callie. Fucking daughter. Fuck you, Callie. Where the fuck is my TikTok light? Bring me my shit back. You don't fucking care about me. I guess I'm gonna have to get your fucking license pulled for abuse and neglect I've doing your fucking mother. I hope you chose the fucking right side, fucking piece of shit. Stop fucking your boyfriend, Callie. You're just fucking him all the time in your basement of your fucking house with the girls in the same fucking house. Fuck you. Bring my fucking TikTok light back right fucking now, Callie. Right fucking now. I guess I don't have to be fucking quiet about you in court either. TJ and Cordy, I already know everything.
Callie,
Yes.
Callie, I assume the rest of the messengers are in the same vein as that?
Yes.
Okay. You can stop playing the messages.
Yeah, we didn't even get to hear all of them.
Okay.
How many messages total were there?
19.
Okay. Anything else that you want to testify to, Kelly?
Just about the rest of that night. He then went into a group chat with me and my mom saying that he's gonna call the cops and file everything that my mom has done. That he's gonna put those Facebook posts in the beginning, he took them all down, and he eventually, or then he said he was going to put them all back. He said I'll never get anything from him again for the first message, and that he should just call welfare checks on the house every day. He then went on to send numbers. There was my mom's number, Isaac from Options number, the Ellis Police Department's number, saying F you, Callie, again, that I better answer him now. He sent the court's number. He then said he's going to call them and tell them I stole a $150 lamp from his house. And that continued. I then not responded on text and blocked him later that evening. And he then reached out to me on Facebook Messenger saying he will never stop this. He weighed 120 pounds in Kansas City because of me and my mom's BS. What the F is wrong with you, B-word? Give me my effing TikTok light back. I have a meeting with my lawyer soon. I've already called the cops on you. You're a selfish Barbie girl. You don't have health insurance anymore. I hope you get that figured out as an adult. Sorry, I'm not Jack like your best friend, my effing ex-wife wants me to be. He then went on to text my boyfriend again that night and said, I will never talk to Callie again, just so you know. She's a piece of S daughter and selfish and materialistic. She essentially stole that TikTok light from me. I hope you don't kill yourself dealing with her bullshit through the years like I do with my ex. Callie is a piece of S and at helping abuse Emmy. I sure the F hope you weren't helping them. So we then ended up talking to Ellis Police Department that evening, and they are requesting 2 charges of harassment and encouraged me to block him on all platforms and start the process of getting a restraining or no contact order on him. After he was served, he then was texting my family, my great aunt, saying, you want to control your effing family. And then I have heard he has been sending the no contact order to my aunts and uncles. And he texted my mom 2 days ago saying, 2 days, I cannot wait. And that is all I have. I am just reaching out to get this restraining order because as the cops encouraged me to do, I talked to my school and my workplace, and he's threatened my license already, and I don't want to have to live in the fear of my license being taken away because of things he said. And this just all started recently, so I am scared for my safety. I don't know how far he will go. We have installed security cameras, but you never know if I'll see him in public, so.
Anything further, Kelly?
No, Your Honor.
Okay.
This is her dad. This is just wild.
Mr. Jeremy Priest, do you have any questions of Callie about her testimony?
Not really.
Okay. Do you have any additional witnesses?
I do not, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Priest, do you have any witnesses that you'd like to call?
I do not.
Okay. Your closing argument, Ms. Callie Priest?
Like I said, I just am requesting this restraining order for my safety and my future. I don't know how far he'll go. I don't know when this will stop. This just started happening of this year, and it just keeps the scene progressing, so I am nervous for my safety and for my future.
Do you have any closing argument, Mr. Priest?
I mean, I was just very upset, and I'm sorry I did it. And shouldn't have. I never called her job or anything. Just I've been through a lot, so and I haven't really talked to her in like 2 years. So, and I'm working with my lawyer about all the other stuff, not with her or with her mom, but I'm leaving her alone.
The court finds that the behavior that you've engaged in, Mr. Priest, would cause a reasonable person to fear for their safety based on the number of contacts you make, the abusive language in the contacts, the tone of your voice certainly would cause a reasonable person to fear for their safety. You've committed more than one act towards that, which constitutes stalking. So the court does find by preponderance of the evidence that you have committed stalking towards Callie, and the court is going to grant the restraining order that is requested.
Okay.
The restraining order will be in effect for 1 calendar year. That will be through April 1st, 2026. Okay.
Okay.
Mr. Priest, you need to understand that this order of protection from stalking replaces the temporary order that was put in place. This will be in place for 1 calendar year through April 1st of 2026. Okay. You will not contact Callie Priest in any way, shape, or form,
Okay.
directly or indirectly or through a third person.
Okay.
Okay. If you need to contact her for any legal reason, have your legal representative contact her. But
Okay.
you're not to contact her. You're not to have third persons contact her. You're not to harass her directly or indirectly. That would include Facebook posting or other posting in social media referring to her.
The part that gets me the most with this one is she just heard the judge say that the restraining order is granted, and yet she still looks terrified. It, like, she has that look of, it's just a piece of paper. It's not protection. Oh man, I hope she's okay. I hope he goes by the restraining order and doesn't ever contact her again. Or her mom.
Okay.
Okay. Don't do that. You are prohibited from coming around her or her family or her place of abode or her place of work. Okay.
I
No
don't.
contact with her, direct or indirect. You're also not to contact her employer and fellow employees, fellow workers, or others around her with communication that would likely cause annoyance or alarm to her, that you're contacting the people around her. That would include her boyfriend.
I
Don't
know.
contact him either.
Not
Okay.
going to.
Miss Callie Priest, what's your boyfriend's name?
Braden Binder.
BR.
AYDON and then BINDER.
Right.
He's a skeleton.
Mr. Priest, you need to understand that this order goes into effect today.
Okay.
Law enforcement can immediately enforce this order. This order will be placed with dispatch. They will enter at NCIC so that it is available throughout the United States.
Okay.
If you violate the order, it may constitute an offense under the Criminal Code of Kansas, including but not limited to violation of a protection order or stalking or assault or battery or criminal trespass or violation of a protection order. Okay.
Okay.
Those are criminal offenses for which you could be prosecuted. Violation of this order could also result in this order being extended. Normally, it would be extended a year or two for a violation. If it's a serious violation, it could result in a lifetime restraining order. You understand that?
Okay.
Okay. Violation of this order is punishable as contempt of court. You could be subject to serving county jail time and or a fine if you violate. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have a concealed carry license?
I do not.
Okay, because a concealed carry license is subject to revocation if there's a restraining order against you.
Okay.
Okay. And you should probably not be possessing or carrying any weapons in public, because that would constitute criminal use of a weapon
Okay.
under Kansas statute for violating the restraining order and having a weapon on your person.
Okay.
Okay. Could also subject you to federal firearm restrictions under federal law.
Okay.
Do you have any questions about the restraining order?
No, I have her blocked and everything, so I don't want.
That order is in effect immediately and it remains in effect through April 1st of 2026.
Okay.
Okay. Anything further for the record, Ms. Callie Priest?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything further for the record today, Mr. Jeremy Priest?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. No contact in any way, shape, or form, direct, indirect, or through any third persons. You understand that?
I won't.
Do not refer to her on social media.
Okay, I won't.
Okay. Okay. Thank you all.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
He definitely looks like someone who has struggled with substance abuse issues. I mean, clearly I can't say that he is definitively on something like that, but he sure looks like he is. I'm able to say that. Hey, quit whatever you're after. Stop. There, yeah, furry little fuzzbutt is still right in my way, helping.
Mr. Schmidt?
Hello there. Come on board. How are you?
I'm all right. How are you?
Doing good, thank you. All right, so we've got two cases we'll be talking about. First will be the current case, which is case 2025 TR 112. You actually was scheduled for the 9th, but since you're here on the other case, we might as well do that. Save you another trip if you'd like to.
That.
The driving system. All right, so this was an offense that occurred on March 28th. For driving with a suspended license on or near 701 East Highway 260. Okay. That's the alleged offense.
Yeah, I'm going to enter not guilty.
Enter not guilty?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then you have your attorney waiver form.
Yeah, I don't understand most of this stuff.
All right, so let me let you know. So let me kind of recover it, because before we make any decisions, I want to make sure that you do understand it. So,
I understand the form. I don't understand the proceedings. I don't understand any of this.
All right.
I don't.
All right. So you're in court.
Yes.
You are alleged to be driving without being licensed to do so. So Officer B. Anderson wrote you a ticket instead of taking you to jail, ordering you to come to court.
I went to jail that day.
On this day, it doesn't appear that you went to jail. Now, that might have been a different day. Yeah?
No, it was the same day. So when they took me to jail, they put it in for the paperwork because my wife was bonding me out. So that way I didn't have to wait to see the judge. She was trying to get me out. So this was for that, I guess.
Well, no, you have a disorderly conduct charge that you have counseling that we put a warrant out for your arrest because you didn't do the counseling. So that's in fact what you were arrested for. You were issued.
Right. Okay, and I was in custody though for it when they issued the ticket is what I'm saying.
Let me tell you instead of you tell me. So you had a warrant because you didn't go to counseling.
Right.
That's why they arrested you. Right. Period. They wrote you a ticket and released you on the driving suspended. Okay? They didn't have a bond on that. It was just the counseling. They wrote you the ticket and released you, arrested you for not complying with counseling. Okay? So that's a separate matter. I'm trying to keep it clear for you. So
Sorry,
this was
I'm kinda stupid.
I'll take the time. So now it's alleged that you were driving suspended, revoked, or canceled on March 28th of 2025. Okay. So the police had some reasons to suspect that your license was suspended, revoked, or canceled. Today's proceeding is to collect a plea from you, determine if you want to go hire an attorney or not. There's no jail time. So they're not asking for any jail time on that driving suspended charge. So we don't have the right to have a court-appointed attorney, okay? And that was what I was explaining. So you have to decide, depending on how you want to plead, do I want to have an attorney represent me, or do I need to go through this without an attorney? Okay, so that's the first decision you got to make on the driving suspended violation.
No, I can't afford one.
Okay. But that's the only, so being that you can't afford one, it can't only be a reason. So if you can't afford one and that's it, then you will proceed without an attorney unless you find a way to get an attorney. Okay, and then the date and sign it there, April 2nd. And I think that is this case, isn't it? Okay. All right, if I could get that form from you.
Yeah.
That's all right.
And then I heard you saying something earlier about a Rule 33.
Yes.
I did email in a while back. Actually, I think that even might be about the next one letter. Well, I'll wait. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's just stay on one at a time because I want to make sure you understand all of the stuff.
Okay.
So on this one, we're entering the not guilty plea on the driving suspended violation that's alleged on March 28th. Okay, so we'll have you come back for the pretrial conference on that. You'll come to this office here. You'll meet with the prosecutor at some point, and they'll discuss the case with you. And either the case will go to trial, the case will enter a plea agreement, or the case will be dismissed. So that's that proceeding. Okay? So that's what we'll get you. Let me get that assigned out to you so we don't get any mix-ups here. So this is the date for the pretrial conference, 6/10 of 2025 at 2 o'clock. So you'll come back here to court on that one, and that's where you'll be prepared to talk to the prosecutor. If you can get your license, if you don't have your license, and you can get it by then I would encourage you to do that. That might help you. All right? Any questions on that case?
Not at this time.
All right. So we have an address on the 129th Drive. Is that still good?
129th Drive. I think that's just the license address.
Yeah, well, we have another one.
I just gave them an updated form this morning when I checked in.
Is that the Buckeye address?
No.
That's okay. Could you confirm with staff up front on Mr. Schmitz if we got an updated address today? Thank you.
It's at least a P.O. box.
Yeah, we just got to make sure that we get it so we're able to send you correspondence from the court so you're notified of things. All right, so I'm going to hang on to that. Now, that's going to be that one. I gave you the court date for that. That's where you'll speak to the prosecutor, right? Now, case 2021 CM 122. You have paid your fines, but we have domestic violence counseling that must be completed.
Now, that's something I've been trying to figure out to talk to the court about. Ever since this case opened up, DCS got involved, and they've been having me and my wife do a bunch of services. And I thought that there might have been some kind of correspondence between the services that the department was having us do and the courts accepting those services that we were doing through there as the acceptable form of counseling for what the court was asking. I don't know. And I've looked up for the DV counseling courses that the court has asked of me. I've been trying to find work, and I even online, I can't find anything that I actually can pay for. I'm down to zeros, and everywhere I'm at, I don't have any money. I don't have income coming in. I'm facing it. I'm just still trying to figure it out.
So you gave me about 4 things there.
Yeah.
Let me address them up. Number 1, DCS will not issue you court-ordered domestic violence counseling. Okay.
They've been offering and working with services through like Taros, Arizona Family First.
So this has to be an Arizona-approved domestic violence counseling center. So you can always inquire if on any counseling that you've went to, number one, is it specifically domestic violence? It has to be specifically domestic violence. Number two, is it a certified Arizona domestic violence counseling center? Those are two important questions. Any of those two questions that says no, the counseling will not qualify for this. Okay. The letter that was provided to you a long time ago that I'm going to give you another one gives you the website of all of the counseling centers that can say yes to both of those two questions. So it behooves you to sign up for those. Okay, so that's two of the three things that you brought up. I can't afford the counseling, Judge. Do you have insurance?
I don't know. I've been trying to get through the access.
Okay.
I'm supposed to until I'm no longer
So,
existing because I was awarded the state from 12 to 18.
Okay, so access is insurance that you can qualify for if you can't afford your own, and they will accept it. So if you're not able to pay for it on your own, continue with the access, but we're going to order you to get compliant right away. This case is a 2021 case, and I want to make you aware that the domestic violence counseling will never go away. So if you fail to comply, if you don't do it, we'll warrant your arrest and keep bringing you here under warrants and custody and all that. And that's no good for you. That's no good for us. So compliance is the secret to that one.
It's probably best if you take the course, if the court has recommended that you take the course.
Domestic violence counseling is different than a lot of others. It won't just disappear after a certain amount of time.
Right.
So the case is a 2021. We hadn't heard from you in a long time on it.
Yeah.
So
can I kind of explain why? When the thing first came up, CPS, we were down in the valley and they wanted us to move in with people because they thought
Mr.
we were
Schmitz,
like that.
no one else's responsibility to do it.
Back. No, I understand that. I'm just trying to ask for a little understanding is all.
And I'm giving it to you. So my intentions are to quash the warrants because you've made some payments. We haven't, yeah. So that's what I plan on doing. And then I'm going to put another counseling order in, and I'm going to watch that one really close. You have to get your screening done right away. I'm going to order that to be done within 7 days. So that'll give you, this will become a priority since 2021 in the next 7 days for you. So you've had,
I'll make sure to get this done.
Basically 4 years and now 7 days to complete this.
Is there a mandatory minimum? When I looked it up last time, it kept asking me about what the court's request for the minimum or whatever it was. I couldn't understand it. I didn't know how many classes were being requested of me, and they're saying they're like an 8-hour course or something like. I don't know what was being requested. And when I tried to call in to ask, I didn't get really a.
So you have to go for a screening, and then counselors
okay, so that's
after the counseling is when they order how much domestic violence counseling that you require. There is a minimum, but if they might determine that you need more after that screening, so that's up to them. Yeah.
Okay.
He does look terrified.
All right, so I'll explain this new counseling order to you. It indicates that you need to do your domestic violence counseling, sign up for the screening within 7 days of today's date. This is the website address for you to choose your facility. You can do them online or in person. There's facilities here. We're going to do a review of this in 90 days. If you comply with this, then then you'll sign up with their systems, and they have a compliance order. They'll talk to you about schedule and how many classes you need to get done a week. Okay. We'll review this in 90 days. Unless you complete the counseling, then all you got to do, you have to, not them, not anybody else, is give us a certificate of completion. And you can email it to us. Our email is right up here at the top with that case number. Okay. Then you won't need to come back on 6/13 of 2025 at 10 a.m. If you haven't completed the classes, it's okay. Just as long as you're compliant, you're doing them as often as you and them schedule. Okay. Signature where it says defendant promising to do what we just talked about.
Yes, sir. Oh, sorry, my back is really bad. I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to set it. I'm just gonna kneel down.
That's all right.
No judgments here. I've been there. I feel your pain.
All right, we'll get you a copy of the counseling order to you and a copy of that you must comply with the counseling. Never mind, there's a copy right here, sorry. That will be for your records because it has the circles on it. Let me get one more signature from you here where it says defendant.
Okay.
On that one, and I'll keep that one.
And this is for the same thing?
It's the same exact thing, it just not with the circles. Just try to help draw attention to the things that are important on it.
Okay.
Have any questions about the counseling order?
No. Actually, not the order, but so is this what the warrant was for then?
It was, yes.
Okay, so
And
then
we're quashing the warrant. It was for non-payment of fines and non-compliance with counseling, correct? The warrants.
so then at
But
this
you paid
point,
the fine. The fines are paid.
okay.
So that's resolved. And now I'm ordering this to be done, and I'm quashing the warrant. But on the 8th day, I'll be reissuing the warrant if I don't get a counseling order from them or from you saying that I've signed up for my screening.
Is this the only 2 cases that are in this that I know that we know? Yeah, I don't know. I
don't either. I know that
Okay.
these are the only 2 that I was adjusting with. If you'd like to, you want to inquire more to see if there's other cases.
I just didn't know if there were.
Nor do I.
I know one of them was taken care. I'm just trying to make sure that I'm in full compliance with the court.
Yes.
Okay.
Is this his copy?
Oh, I'm so glad he's standing up. Dude was in my bubble that whole time.
Yeah. Okay. So if you would like to, you can check with the court at the front counter to see if there's anything else that's pending left with you. But we discussed, what I did is I saved you coming back on the next court date for that driving suspended. Got the not guilty plea. We got you the new court date for that one.
That's okay. So that was the one for next on the 9th.
Yep.
Okay.
And then we just got you your counseling order that you need to go get signed up for. And then we quashed your warrants. Did we do that?
He was arrested.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. Do you have any other questions on that?
I do not.
Okay, then you're all set to go. If you have questions about other cases, just the clerk can help at the front counter.
Okay. Thank you, Judge.
You bet.
That was so much fun, you guys. Yep. I think there's probably a good share of the chat that's already sleeping. But thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me. I appreciate it so much, and I love every one of you. Be safe, be well, sleep sweet, and much love.